All right, I'm gonna start with our introduction, and I'll hand it over to Joni. I am like the tech person here. Tech person. If you need assistance, private message me or talk to me in the chat. But I will be there, and yeah, I'm excited. So, your facilitator for this session, Authentically Engaging with Young People, is Joni Hollifield, the founder of the grassroots organization known as Heart Smiles, which was founded in 2015 after the uprising after Freddie Gray, in partnership with Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health and Bloomberg Philanthropies. Heart Smiles operates a citywide experience teaching youth the fundamentals of leadership, entrepreneurship, and the importance of giving back. And Joni wants you to know that she is a West Baltimore native. So I'm gonna go off video, but you all are welcome to come on video so we can see y'all and Joni can see you. But yeah, take it away, Joni.
Cool. Thank you so much, Renee. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this space with you guys today. I'm so excited to talk about this idea of authentically engaging young people. And y'all know I don't go nowhere talking about young people without bringing young people to the table. So I brought some of my heartbeats with me, and they are going to help us really just have this conversation. What I like to do first is I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves to you so that you know who they are. And then I'm going to go through like a series of questions, and they're going to talk through like some of these questions, but really in like this teachable moment type way. So hopefully y'all bought some big notepads to take some notes, because this is where you get to hear it like straight from the horse's mouth. Like they're going to be telling you as young people from Baltimore what some of their experiences have been, and just really kind of help us to get more in depth of this idea with engaging young people. And then after we have that conversation, then I'm going to talk to you guys really from an adult perspective, because that's always a key factor as well. Like, how do we actually create those environments, and what are the things that we do as adult supporters to be able to support our heartbeats and our young people so that they can have these positive experiences. And as we go through, pepper in your questions. I plan on leaving a space after we're done to open it up like officially for questions. But if something hits you and you want us to answer a question that relates, or if you want to elaborate or give us like a thoughtful statement or something, like definitely feel free to do so. I'm inviting everybody to come on and share their video if you want, or you can just light up the chat, whatever makes you most comfortable. But I want to make sure that you guys feel like you're getting maximum value for your time during this session. So with that, Cam Gotti, can we start with you first on the introduction?
Hey y'all, my name is Cam. Well, my government name is Camry Moses, but I go by Cam Gotti, a variety of different names, depending on how you know me. I'm the creator of Chaos Smoothies, the 18-year-old freshman or first year at the Spelman College, majoring in psychology. I really love my HBCU. I'm also a Western alum, so sisterhood has kind of been going on for the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm excited to be here with you all. I'm a Heart Smiles Heartbeat, as well as a Healing Youth Alliance ambassador. So everything community I basically do, addressing mental health, doing presentations on mental health. I can help you get your schedule together. Anybody know me, I'm good with organizing. So if y'all want to book a session with me, I do these sessions called Pursuing Passion and Purpose sessions. But that's just a little bit about me, and I'll now hand it back over to Ms. Joni for her to introduce you all.
Thank you so much, Cam Gotti. And you said Healing Youth Alliance, like everybody just know what that is. Can you give them like a 10-second real quick?
Okay, so the idea of Healing Youth Alliance was actually created by Dr. Kyla Liggett-Creel to have youth address mental health in the Black community. So it's a variety of different ambassadors. Shalard is actually one of the ambassadors on cohort 2. We now have 3 cohorts of youth from Baltimore in the city that are addressing mental health through presentations, and we're educated by the Black Mental Health Alliance, as well as social workers and the University of Maryland.
Yes, thank you so much, Cam Gotti. And Coach Johnson, can you please give us the introduction?
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shalard Johnson. Coach Johnson, because I am also the founder and organizer of Mentoring Through Basketball Changing Lives, where I mentor youth through the sport of basketball in Baltimore City. Currently, right now, I'm a sophomore, second year at Shalom University. Double major in criminal justice and psychology. So anything as far as like criminology, like CSI, DEA, stuff like that. I'm type your guy for that one. Also, I'm a Healing Youth Alliance ambassador. Also, I was a Heart Smiles Heartbeat as well, and a youth advocate as well. I like to, advocate for the youth that has voices that have not been heard, and also give youth an outlet for things that they want as well.
Thank you so much, Coach. And can you let people know, just for the record, what high school you came out of?
Yes, I am an alumni out of Frederick Douglass High School in West Baltimore.
Yes. And that's important, y'all. The only reason I brought my college students out today was because of the time frame that this session was. But if this session was a little later, y'all would have gotten people from some of the worst schools in Baltimore City, just so that, we can show you guys that it really doesn't matter where you come from, but really what matters is what's inside of you. And I tell him all the time, like, people need to know that, some people may have written Frederick Douglass off, but there are definitely still some bright lights there, and we need to be there and supporting our young people however possible, however we can. So I'm just so proud of that. So thank you, Coach Johnson. All right. Getting into our first official question. All right. How should adults go about building relationships with youth? And describe how your relationship was built with the mentors at Heart Smiles. And Cam Gotti, we're going to start with you, because you wasn't even messing with us at first. Like, you was not really feeling us.
Okay, so I would say you really had to be patient. Miss Mo, Miss Mo trying to throw shade at me. But for me, personally, you had to be a little bit patient. I know other youth are probably similar to how I was. When I came into knowing about Heart Smiles, I promise y'all, I was just dropping the smoothies off, collecting my cash app, and rolling out. Like, they first knew me about from Chaos Smoothies. I was seeing Miss Joni actually when I was doing a business pitch competition with our Dream Foundation in the mayor's office at the time. And I just kept seeing Miss Joni, and she found about my smoothie some way or somehow. I don't know who found out about it, but then I started coming up. Bloomberg, every GAD meeting, everybody was making orders for smoothies. So it'd be like 20 smoothies at a time. I get my cash app, hand everybody their smoothies, and then I would leave. I probably wouldn't even say more than 5 words, but I just needed a little bit of time, and also just be consistent in how you do things. So like, what always attracted me to Heart Smiles was it was constant opportunity. So I wouldn't even be involved or immersed in everything that was going on Thriving Thursday, Winning Wednesday all the time. But I was seeing on Instagram, I'm like, dang, like, it's all these youth, like they sharing these things, sharing their voices. I was seeing Jamira at the time, Rabbit, like they were speaking at conferences. I'm like, oh my God, like this is something that I really want to do. And like just that representation, or that constant representation and consistent representation, kind of attracted me. It was a law of attraction. I was meant to be here. But yeah, just being consistent and also being patient in how you handle you. So I told Miss Joni, I'm like, Miss Joni, I'm not gonna come to Thriving Thursday or nothing. This was when we were doing it in person, like 2 years ago. We've been in the pandemic for 2 years, crazy. But I'm like, Miss Joni, I'm not gonna come to Thriving Thursday until I can really be consistent with coming. She like, you like, all right, I'm gonna hold you to that. She thought I was, playing at first. But once I really started coming, I was coming every single week. And I just felt like I built an instant connection with the mentors and Miss Joni being there. Me and Miss Joni kind of connect in like demeanor, I guess you can say, like we're not sharing, like when we need help and stuff. In the first moment I connected with Miss Joni was at a Thriving Thursday. Miss Joni always helping everybody out. She got Rabbit in one ear. She talking about this incident that she was fussing with a girl. She got somebody else in her other ear. Miss Joni, can you book me a lift? Then somebody else trying to talk to her. I'm like, I'm just looking because I'm trying to see if Miss Joni gonna ask for anything. No, Miss Joni don't ask for nothing. I'm like, all right, Miss Joni. I don't even really know Miss Joni like that, but I'm like, I can feel her pain because I relate to that. Like, I don't never ask people for help. I think I can just handle everything. And I asked her for her laptop. I was the first person to touch that laptop. Start booking lists of people just so Miss Joni can like rid of their burden. So just being open to new things too. I feel like Miss Lee definitely have been more open to new things when like coming into contact with new youth. I know everybody kind of brought Miss Joni out of her show in some type of way, whether it's with her icebox or anything like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna spill the tea on the icebox thing, but just constant connection is what keeps adults coming in. Miss Mo, she always available. I know Miss Mo is really sick and tired of me. Really, she never gonna say it, but I know she's tired because I always have her read every essay. College essays. When I was coming into college, she was reading my essays. She was giving me feedback, thoughtful feedback, sentences of feedback, saying, Cam, you should do this or you should highlight this, and like really just being interested in learning about me and how I can better myself. So it's really an investment. So all in all, investment, consistency, and representation.
Thank you, Cam Gotti. You did not have to even spill my tea like that. Yo, I was really struggling that day too. I was really struggling. All right. Coach John says, same thing for you. How should adults go about building relationships with youth, and describe your relationship, how your relationship was built with the mentors and Heart Smiles?
Okay, well, with adults and youth, you gotta have the time and the patience. And I would say the time and the patience because a lot of youth um, don't open up a lot like very fast. And I can say that because I'm the type I was a youth whereas though I was introvert whereas though I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't know anybody. I'm kind of still am that way. If I don't know you, I won't talk to you. Like I won't come and actually have a full blown conversation with you. And that's just kind of basically how I don't know. That's just me. But when I came into like Heart Smiles was very, very patient with me. Like they took their time, but they also let me know that it's comfortable to come here. It's comfortable to have this space. We have people here that want to. If you want to talk to somebody, like we have people here. Definitely gonna give a shout out to Ms. Morgan. I kind of call her like my mom because she really is my mom. And like Cam, I get on her nerves too, like every day. And my schedule been busy, so I haven't really been calling her like every day how I used to. And that was more of a text messages, but I still feel like the love is still there, like the communication is still there. If I ever need Miss Mo, it would always be there, and it's because she took her time with me. Like I would always be in her office. She had a her nice little office, and I would be in the office with her doing my little homework, coming from Frederick Douglass High School, going in there doing my little homework. She would help me with my homework. She would take time with me. She helped me with my college application to come to college. So like things like that, I really appreciate because not only was she, not only she had a companionship, but she also was patient with me. She was very patient. And then again, Miss Trina and Miss Joni, they was really like they kind of opened their arms up to me. Miss Joni, she opened her arms up to me like because she came to my job, and after she came to my job and I met Miss Joni, like I was on Miss Joni tail for like 2 weeks straight. Like I said, can I get your card? Can I get your number? Like how can I find you again? Can I see you again? And she was like, "Who is this little boy? Like, why he want to keep contacting me?" So I really, really want to keep in contact with Joni, and I'm so glad I did because it was more so I felt like it wasn't just an organization that I was gonna go to just to, on Thursdays or just on Fridays. It was a family more so. Bloomberg was a family to me, and it still is a family to me. Yeah, everything is part of Heart's Mouth is a family to me. So my thing would be very, very much being patient and also, how to relate to the youth as well because Miss Joni, a West Baltimore native. I'm a West Baltimore native myself, born and raised and coming out of Frederick Douglass High School. So she understood the things that I had to go through. She understood like where West Baltimore, every day you might not see the things you might want to see. In Frederick Douglass High School, people got shot in Frederick Douglass High School. I saw the coach got shot and stuff like that. So she understood the things. She understood the things that I went through just as being a West Baltimore native. So being relatable and also being consistent and also being patient with us is very, very important.
Thank you so much, Coach. I still remember when we first met, and when you walked, it had to be at least like 15 blocks. You were all the way from downtown to the school, y'all, just because he was so dedicated and committed to working with the young ladies at the elementary school that we partner with, Matthew A. Henson. And he wanted to not only teach them like the skills of basketball, but to show them also what a positive male figure could look like. Since so many young women grow up without a positive male person to look up to. I will never forget that, y'all. He was drenched. Looked like he just got out the shower. Like, I said, why you ain't tell me you needed a ride? And he was like, I'm not trying to have my hand out. I'm just trying to be here. And I was just like, wow, talk about commitment. So Thank you so much, Coach. All right. My next question for you guys, and this one, I need y'all to just keep it all the way real because some people might think that they're doing a good job and they might have good intentions, but really they might be causing more harm than they are actually fixing things. So this question is, what is a common practice adults use to try and build relationships with youth that they should just stop doing? Cam Gotti.
One thing, well, I'm gonna give two things. One thing that can kind of be overwhelming is like, and I know I might be guilty of it sometimes too, but like when you see something is wrong with someone, you are constantly ask them over and over and over and over again, and you think you helping, like you showing your concern, but sometimes it becomes to be too much where you want to shut down. So if someone constantly asks me what's wrong and I'm not quite ready to share what's on my mind or what's going on in my situation, I'm not going to share it. And when I'm ready to share it, I'll share it to you, knowing that you know are concerned with my well-being. If you ask me one time and then you leave it alone, that's enough for me. Maybe once or twice. Ask me that many times, and then after that, it's up to me to meet you halfway and say, look, this is the situation that's going on right now. This is how I would like you to help. If it is possible for you to help in this way, please help me, or something like that, so we can have a conversation. But when it becomes to like you asking me over and over and over again, it just puts me in a box, and now I don't want to share anything with you. And you might think it's helping because you're showing that you're concerned, but it's kind of doing more harm than good, because now it's causing them to be in a box where they're not going to express their feelings to you. Like you might be their only outlet that's asking, but because you're overly asking, it's like, I'm not going to say anything to you. And then the second thing, I think sometimes adults kind of invalidate youth experiences. So when, they come to you and say, this happened to me and this is how I responded to it, it's like sometimes adults can be like, back in my day, this happened, and I still made it through this by doing this, and like trying to say that this is what they should do. But however, we're in a new time frame and a new mindset and everything, and I don't necessarily want someone to tell me how I should feel or tell me how I should have reacted. Like if a situation already happened, I just want you to tell me how I can grow going forward, things I might can improve, but not necessarily, oh, you should feel this way or you should have did things this way and I made it out this way. Because now I feel like you're kind of being selfish when I'm sharing my feelings and being vulnerable with you. You shouldn't try to invalidate my experiences, because my experiences matter as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Cam Gotti. So powerful, and definitely needed to hear that, even if just as a reminder. Coach, same question to you. What's a common practice adults use to try and build relationships with youth that they should just stop?
So I have one as well, but I also want to piggyback off what Cam said earlier. Um, sometimes sometimes just as me, I'll have this face where as though it might look like something is wrong with me, and nothing could be wrong with me at all. But earlier today, like I had this face where as though something looked like something was wrong with me, and with somebody at my school, and I was going to my classes, and I have a 9 a.m., a 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and a 1 p.m. And I'm going to my classes, and I'm have my face on, but everybody, not one, this one person just keep asking me, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. And I'm like, I'm okay, like I'm fine, like I'm okay, like I'm fine. And they keep asking what's wrong. And it's like, once you keep asking what's wrong and you keep asking what's wrong, it's like now you're overstepping your boundaries. Like I told you I'm okay, but sometimes you need to take a step back. Like I'm okay. And if I do want to come out and talk to you, then I'll come talk to you. So it's like also I would say like personal space basically for me, that's my personal space. But for one thing I would say is mine I feel as though it's like we overstep your boundaries is, when adults try to put on to the youth and they say that everything's going to be okay, and they just say that word, like everything's going to be okay, and it is what it is. Like I don't see that as one of the main things that should be happening, because, like, for Miss Joni, prime example, if I come to Miss Joni about any situation, any problem, Miss Joni would have a sit down conversation with me. And y'all know how busy Miss Joni is. Miss Joni be busy from meetings from when she wake up to when she go to sleep. Like, but she always find that time to, give me the nice little paragraph, give me that 2 minute voice message, if it's that serious, she'll call me. Like she'll always find that way, find that time to actually talk to me instead of saying, well, you can do this and it'll be okay, or you can do this and it'll be okay. Like Miss Mo, she do the same thing. She'll call me, she'll text me, she'll send a nice little paragraph. Besides, they're not the people that actually be like, oh, well, it's gonna be okay. Well, you just gotta do this, do that, and this, do this, and then once you do that, everything will be okay. Like, I mean, I'm not the person that look for pity, but I also want somebody to actually talk to me and actually break everything down. I want to be able to break down my situation to find out what I can pinpoint, what I can start now, what I can work on now, and then find out at the end that everything's gonna be okay.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my God, Miss Joni.
What?
When he said the paragraph thing, that one really hit though, y'all. Miss Joni, she wasn't really all that involved in school, but them essays she be sending when you got a problem, they come in clutch. Like, you go and Miss Joni, I need advice on this real quick. She'll send a long audio message like, Miss Joni, you could have split it up or something. Like, she gonna send a long drawn out thing, but it showed that she really cared though.
Y'all see how they are. I try to send my little voice message, and now they try to roast me. But no, I love it. Thank y'all so much. Now look, my next question, right? I really need y'all to go in on this because as we can already see, especially people who don't know you, you guys are strong leaders, like absolutely. Like, you're confident in the way that you speak. You are confident in who you are and why you are. And that comes off like, bam, clearly. It wasn't always like that though. And I remember some of those first days where, both of y'all used to be on mute and, it was like, wow, are they even in the room? So can you kind of like back up, talk to us about like, what was your attitude about leadership before joining Heart Smiles, and just kind of describe to us like where you were in that whole realm of leadership. Cam Gotti.
Oh, good. So for me, before, like, I don't think I necessarily thought about leadership as leadership, if that makes sense. So like when I was doing things like before Miss Joni, I was involved in a lot of different things. However, like, my leadership looked different than how I do it now. I wasn't as vocal. Like, I didn't use my voice. I could write something down for you, email you, advocating for something. But like, talking is just something I was not comfortable with. Ms. Joni had me do a commencement speech so far with one of my little leaders that when I was mentoring. Ms. Joni had me speak in front of Mike Bloomberg, telling him about chaos smoothies. Like, things like that I was not going to do before Heart Smiles. So I kind of looked at leadership almost as like a like maybe like I was a quiet storm. I was class president. I was on NHS. I was top of my class. I graduated number 2, so salutatorian from Western. Just a variety of different things. And I just thought being quiet, like I could still do what I needed to do, stay out the way. And I never really was like a social butterfly. So like talking to people just was so like uncomfortable for me. But now Ms. Joni like just push you into it. Like she prepare you. She don't put you just in the wolf den, but she prepare you. We have our leadership sessions and everything like that, so we ready. But like now it's like leadership means being vocal and standing on what you're saying, being persistent. So like even when it comes to them follow-up emails, y'all, and I really believe in something, I promise you, I'm probably going to send you at least 4 or 5 follow-up emails because I believe in things that much. Like, I learned how to advocate for myself, not only advocate for myself, but advocate for my people. Like, I always talk about my community, even when being down here. Like, Baltimore got a bad rep, but that's not necessarily all that Baltimore is about. Like, we have young leaders that are in Heart Smiles. I think our youngest is like 14, but I had the little leaders, they were 9 and 10 years old. So thinking about leadership, like, it's something that, can really like impact the world. And I also learned about like how negative leadership, or a person that has leadership but is guided in the wrong way can really change the trajectory of their life. So even thinking about some of the youth that are, not in the right spaces, like, Heart Smiles, like Thriving Thursday and stuff like that, they have leadership. It's just not guided in the right way. So, with guidance and, with, some care, leadership can be something that can really change the world. And that's what Heart Smiles is here to do.
Yes, period, Cam Gotti. Thank you. Coach Johnson, need your thoughts on that. What was your attitude about leadership before joining Heart Smiles, and where were you in that?
It's a good one actually. Before Heart Smiles, I didn't even know what leadership was. You couldn't even ask me the actual definition because I probably couldn't even tell you. I was so quiet. I was like Cam. I wasn't a social butterfly. I was quiet. I was to myself. Like I was like, yep, I'm ready to go to high school. Then after I go to high school, I'll probably go to college, and then I'm gonna get a job, and then I'm gonna live my life, and that's how it's gonna be. But no, once I met Miss Joni, and as I met Miss Joni, it was just like from there, like I found this part of myself where as though I was like, I gotta be able to express. How can I say this? I gotta open up and I gotta actually be a leader. Like I have to actually stand up for what I believe in. Because it was a lot of things I had my opinions on, but I didn't know. I never knew how to actually come out and say my opinion. I would always be quiet and actually like write it down and keep it in my head or keep it in my journal and things like that. But then once I came into Heart Smiles and they actually like Thriving Thursdays and the youth entrepreneurship class, I was in the youth entrepreneurship class once. And I can say this right here. Once me and Cam, like Miss Joni actually made me and Cam one time do entrepreneurship class. And then once we actually did the entrepreneurship class, we taught the entrepreneurship class. And then we did the graduation of it. And then we did it again. So it's like once she did that, and then she let me host the whole basketball team. And after she did that, I was just like on the road. Like I couldn't stop. I just kept it. Now I speak at like anytime I get a time where I get to speak, like at my school, I'm in so many organizations, criminal justice club, SAC representative, like so many organizations at the school because of leadership. I'm actually a leadership chair at my school for fellow organization because of how I speak, of how I talk, how I address myself. And it's because once I got into Heart's Mouth, it was like everybody around me is in the mindset of trying to be better for that self or trying to be better for the youth. And I put myself into that mindset. I tapped into my own mindset where so I want to be better for myself. I want to be better for youth as well. So once I tapped into that leadership mindset, it was just on and set from there. It was like an escalator going up, and I just keep going up.
No, that's
Miss
nice.
Joni, can I add one more thing?
That black boy magic. Yes, of course, please.
All right, y'all. I don't know how many more times I'm gonna do that. I don't know. I just be having little things that just come up as I hear other things. But also leadership is about representation. So like I think I didn't necessarily know too much about like leadership in the I guess the traditional sense that other people look at it because that's just not how I wanted to be. Like at first when I was doing leadership, it's like, it only was like one type of person. Like you had to be like dressed down, business casual, and you had to, speak like almost perfect, like in perfect English, and everything just had to be enunciated and everything. But like Miss Joni really like she modeled what she say. So like even when it come down to jewels, everything she say, like I could never go back to Miss Joni and be like, Miss Joni, you did this. How does it align with your jewel? Because everything always just add up. And like even with like how Miss Joni dressed and how she carry herself, like people that think about leadership in a different way wouldn't necessarily view Miss Joni a leader. And that's Miss Joni showed me a different way about leadership. Like she can go in and wear her small sweatsuit with her Jordans on and her Ray-Bans glasses and still be respected the same as somebody that's coming to you with business casual. Like, and just because of that, like I got to talk to Mike Bloomberg. I had my oversized sweatshirt on, my new growth headband on, just a whole bunch of different things. And I still feel like I was respected just the same. So just thinking about different things, leadership is different and it needs more representation of everyday people. Like we from the community, we from the city, all of us from West Baltimore on here, but East Side too. We all need representation all across the world.
Yes, thank you so much, Cam Gotti, for that. Coach Johnson in the chat cutting up. Don't pay him no mind, y'all. Yes, I love it. But Cam Gotti, feel free, please interrupt anytime because your interruptions be so powerful, and it just kind of helps to enrich the conversation about some of the things that are needed around this idea of how do we engage authentically. So I hope y'all writing down some notes and taking a lot of good stuff. I see the thumbs up, Miss Jeanette. Thank you so much. Y'all touched on a little bit about like how you kind of transitioned into like some of your leadership positions, but can you talk about like what really helped you the most, like from a mentor perspective? Like what are some of the things that the mentors did to kind of help you get entrenched out there into that leadership? Cam Gotti.
I feel like the like prep session's not the same with Hush Smiles as it is with like other jobs. Like it's not no like training. It's like you come to the sessions, you feel like you just learn everything. It's never enough time to learn. Like yesterday's session was so good, yo. I can't even send y'all the notes. I can't even send y'all the notes. It was so good. But like the sessions just never be like long enough, and I feel like I'm always learning something new. Like Hot Smells never like let you remain stagnant unless that's what you really want to do. Miss Joni, like once she see that you have an interest in something, she kind of utilizes like her network and her relationships with people to make that opportunity be something for you. Like you'll say you interested in something and she'd be like, oh, I got a partner with so and so you can go ahead and start that construction job, or start that business. These are the people I can connect you with. Like even when I had made some sweatshirts for my business, Chaos Smoothies, like Miss Joni automatically had some contacts to give me for me to reach out to and different things like that. So I think it's like I said, once again, like that investment that y'all put into us. Like at first I was kind of nervous about like doing different things. I think I remember one of the things I was nervous about was this national conference, and it was virtual. Me and John, he actually goes to the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. We were doing a presentation, and I'm not sure who was partnered with that at the time, because Miss Joni just be having you involved in everything. But in that specific session, I was so nervous. I'm telling y'all, like I think it was either like the night before or what. She told us to do the presentation on the spot. We on the phone with the partners. I'm like, Miss Joni, like, you serious right now? Like, I don't think you don't want to hear this. We did a presentation. She like, get all this together. She like, you gotta get all this stuff together. Y'all doing this, y'all doing that. It was loving though. Don't get me wrong. But I was just so nervous. But she believed in us so much that it wasn't like, oh, you're not doing it right. I'm gonna take y'all out, put somebody else in. She was like, this is what y'all can change. And, I believe in y'all. Y'all got this. Next time, I know it's going to be better. Like, she always, like, make sure that to let us know that she believes in us. Even when doing, like, her shout-outs on, like, Thriving Thursday and stuff, she like, oh, Gemma, oh, Cam, you did this or you did that last week. Shout out to you for doing that. Like, even with Taylor been doing graphics for different projects she's been on. She like, Taylor, I love them graphics you was doing for Voices on Vex. Like she always shout out the specifics, and things like that matter because it shows that you actually paying attention and that you actually invested in me actually growing. So those things were definitely helpful for me. Even when I felt like I was dealt with myself, I always had my mentors to, reaffirm like, look, you can do this. Like I believe it. I've seen how you talk. I've seen how you did this. This is just one step in your journey, and I believe in you. So those things are really helpful for me.
Thank you so much, Cam Gotti. Coach, it's on you. What has helped you grow the most into your leadership position, like from the mentor side of it?
Okay, well, Ms. Morgan probably gonna feel like I'm coming for, but I'm really not. But it was when I was applying for college, and I was applying to like all different colleges, and but then I was like, I don't like I had this moment where so I was like, I don't really think I want to go to college, and Miss Mo looked at me like, what, huh? And I was like, like I don't think college is really for me. And she looked at me and she was like, you're gonna sit up here, you're gonna do these applications, and you're gonna go to college because that's not what we ready to do. You're not ready to sit up here and not think about our future. And I was like, but like, what's the real reason for me to go into college? She's like, because don't you want to be that lawyer? Don't you want to be that judge? And by me saying this, I would say, you know, not only was she there, but she was also looking up for my future as well. You know, she instilled into me that, you know, don't think of the present and not think of the future. You know, just because you have a present feeling, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. And I was like, I really just don't want to go to college. And then she's like, I don't know, you can go to college, you know. And she had made me she made me do the application. She drove down here with me when I moved in. She like set my whole room up. By this time it was COVID, so she was in there with the gloves on, you know, wiping off my beds with the Clorox wipes. Like she was serious, and I was going to college, regardless. If I was like on her time, I was going to college. And even when I got to college, my freshman year, I was like, these essays are so hard. Then she'd be like, oh, yeah, we're gonna set a time up 8 p.m. on Sunday. We're gonna do this essay, like the third. And I'm sitting there like, but I really don't want to do it. And she's like, it's not what you want to do. She was like, it's not what you want to do. It's how it's going to pay off when it's done. And when she said that, I was like, yeah, you know, and I actually live by that now. It's like, because I'll have my emotions about certain situations, but I always got to think about what Miss Mo said. You know, you can't have your present emotion affect your future. And you know, I can't think of emotion and be like, oh, I'm failing this class, or I need help in this class, and then she'd be like, oh, I'll be like, I need help in this class, and I'm like, I ain't gonna do that class no more. It's like, because that's my present, that's my present emotion. But if I actually, you know, go in there and do the work how I'm supposed to, make up my missed work, then you know, actually apply myself in the class how I'm supposed to, you know, in 2-3 weeks, I'm passing the class, you know, with 86 or 90, and now I'm one of the top students in the class. You know, so it's things like that. Whereas though Ms. Mo, I would say like she was always on me, like regardless of any situation where it was. Like if it was family problems, it was school problems, it was just, you know, being a social person with like my friends and things like that. She's always come to me like, you know, like you had to do this not because it's not what you want to do, but it's going how it's going to affect you in the long run. And that's what I needed from a mentor. I needed somebody to actually be there for me and, you know, let me know how my future would look out, because I'm the type of person where though I would act off my emotions in the present moment. And I try like to basically turn myself into a different mindset, whereas though I can't do that because again, I don't know how it's going to affect my future. And Miss Morgan was always right there to help me for that. So that's how I would say this. Like Miss Morgan, I really appreciate you for that as well.
Yes, we love that. And she moved you in all the way down North Carolina.
All the way in North Carolina. She drove from Baltimore, Maryland at 5 a.m. Got up. First of all, I ain't never know Miss Morgan to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be driving. And she drove down here with me and got them wipes on her and got them wipes and them sprays and started wiping everything down and, you know, made sure I was in college.
Yo, talk about love. I love to see it. That's what's up. Shout out Miss Money Mo. All right. Can you talk about some spaces where you had to lead or speak up in that were not traditionally occupied by youth? Like, how was that, Cam Gotti?
All right. Two of them that really stuck out to me. Over the past summer, I interned with the mayor's office. It was only me and one other youth where it just was real, like it wasn't something that I know that they weren't used to before. Like, I'm not sure of how many other mayor's office interns that it was previously, but I could just notice like in certain things, but even like communication and things like that, that you weren't in the space before. Like the way that they, no shade to the mayor's office, but the communication is terrible there. Like the emails, who you supposed to be talking to, it's just all scattered. It's not nothing organized necessarily about that. And for me, I work off organization. So tell me what needs to be done. I'm going to add my own little spin on it because that's just how I am. And I'm going to give you something that you did not expect. But like, it was just a lot of different things going on. The communication was just off, very off. And, you know, I had an experience where I was with one adult and now this adult was busy doing something else. So now they left us hanging and we're giving off to another adult that we don't even know. And then I'm back to another. It was just too many transactions going on. Maybe it was more of transactional leadership. If Ms. Joni, y'all want to book a session with Ms. Joni about transactional versus transformational leadership, I'm telling y'all, that session of one, I had it. I'm telling y'all better get your coins together. But the mayor's office and then one other one, dang, I forgot it. Mayor's office, I'm gonna think about it. Y'all. But that one was one important one, the mayor's office.
Okay. Yeah, no, and that was definitely a great example. Coach, what about you? Can you talk about a space where you had to lead where it wasn't traditionally occupied by youth? Like how was that for you?
Um, yeah, I can talk about one, and Ms. Mo was in this one as well too. Last time I was an intern at the Franklin Law Firm, and I was like the only youth intern, and it was a bunch of lawyers and public defenders and stuff like that, and it was like I was there I was there working on a project, and a project was about it was like my like the history of like slavery and stuff like that. And I was like asking so many questions, and like nobody was like, I wouldn't say nobody would help me, but it was like more so they gave it to me, basically expecting me to get it done on my own, find out the answers on my own. This is what I want to do, so I got to find out on my own. And when I was doing the work, I mean, I was finding the answers out, but I was also sitting there like, how am I supposed to be finding out this? And I'm so young, and this is for like so much of an older individual. Like the work that I was doing was some actual lawyer work, like some actual public defender's work. Like you had to have your degree, you had to have your bachelor's, you had to have your master's. Like, and I was saying that I was getting the answers, but I was sitting there like, this is not for youth. Like, and I was only like 18, 19. And I'm like, But I actually did. I got it done. But it wasn't, and by me getting it done, it actually taught me it's like nothing is too hard for me. You got to put your mind to it and actually get what you got to get done, regardless of how hard it may sound, how hard it may be. You got to get it done. And shout out to Miss Stephanie Franklin because she also gave me the work, not knowing that I would have a hard time, but knowing that I will get it done by actually, just having that time to myself and actually finding out what it was. And also was a little bit of Miss Mo, telling me like, oh, you're gonna get this done because, you're not gonna feel the way you're feeling right now. Because it was times where as though I was like, I don't think I should be doing this project. I don't think I should be doing this project. And then, Miss Money Mo come back and was like, oh, no, we're gonna do this project. Like you need to sit down, you need to take some time off for yourself and find these answers out. And I did so, but that's why I would say last summer it was the internship at the Stephanie Law Firm for me.
Yes. Thank you so much. Great examples. Cam Gotti, did your one come back to you?
Yeah, I think I remember it now. It might not have been the exact one, but it's another one. So another space is when me and coach, and then I had one with me and Sid where like teaching the entrepreneurship classes. I don't know. For classes, I just always thought of older people teaching them. Like I wasn't even thinking about even like young adults, like 25 or 30, 25, 24, things like that, teaching classes. So when Miss Joni asked little old me to co-facilitate with Coach Johnson, I'm like, you want us to teach a class? Like I seen Coach do it before single-handedly, but it's like, dang, like now you want us, like youth, teaching a class about entrepreneurship. Like that's crazy, and you don't hear that nowhere else. Like I'm like, I feel like we definitely left an imprint on the people that we have taught, and even still, like my class with Sid, she actually was with a student of me and coaches, and we ended up teaching a entrepreneurship class together. So I feel like it definitely showed me that, like I said, representation is, if you change, we can change the narrative. So it doesn't necessarily have to look like, older people, not old, older people, teaching classes and things like that. Like it could be 16, 17, 18-year-olds teaching entrepreneurship classes, especially if they're taught in the right way. So that's another one of my examples. And yeah, coach is one of the best co-facilitators.
Yes, I love it. I love it. All right. One more question before I get into my adult notes. And that is, can you talk about what has been the overall impact on your life, just being connected to Heart Smiles? Cam Gotti.
Jeez. I feel like I kind of got the family that like I never had. Like I had family, don't get me wrong, but like, family that's just connected by blood. It's not like you really immersed in a connection with them. Like I'm not blood related to anybody in Heart Smiles, but like I feel more family to them than people that are blood to me. And people would say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes it can really be the reverse. And Her smile just always gave me that family feeling, even when it came down to eating food all together at Thriving Thursday, you know, the room going from loud to silent. When Miss Joni would come in the room, like Miss Joni, like a mother for real. She come in the room, she demands silence. Well, she don't demand silence, but her presence, it demands respect, not silence. And, you know, even still, like, I feel like I'm always growing or thinking about things I can change when hearing new things in her smile. So Thriving Thursdays and Winning Wednesdays, like, they always provide me with more knowledge and just people that are on the same mindset that I am. Like, I felt like they used to be so hard for me. Like, I felt like I was the odd one out when I was in high school, and I was like always in my books and always wanting to do something more. I just felt like I was out of what the norm was for how a youth was supposed to be. But Her Smiles gave me that outlet. Other people are interested in doing more things too. And, you know, I'm gonna be forever grateful for Her Smiles today. I know Ms. Joni probably going to try to slide into retirement within the next 5 to 10 years, but we're gonna try to keep her as long as we can, y'all.
Bye, yo. Thank you, Cam Gotti. Coach, your thoughts. What has been your the overall impact on your life just being connected to Heart Smiles?
I have two. Well, I have a lot actually, but I'm just naming my top two. The first one is family. Yeah, family is like when I say Heart Smiles has been so much of a family to me. It's kind of crazy because they've been more of a family than my actual family. So I definitely appreciate that. And then I would say two. I just found a second one. Mm, mm. Oh no, two. I'm sorry, my two. It's like the consistency and the platform that they gave me. Like I said before, I even joined Heart Smiles. I wasn't social. I didn't talk. I didn't have no leadership. But like Heart Smiles gave me that platform where as though I could step on that platform and actually speak out who I was and speak out who I am and actually have leadership. Yes, definitely with the branding, entrepreneurship classes, leadership opportunities, internships, college applications, just everything as well as over the platform that they gave me. So definitely I would say family and the platform because those two main things mean a lot to me. They made me, Heart Smiles made me who I am today, actually. So.
Thank you so much, Coach. Very powerful, very powerful. All right, y'all. So before they kick us out of here, what I want to be able to do is to kind of tie things up from an adult perspective. So a lot of what you heard our heartbeats talk about really is because of the culture that we've created. So I'm about to give y'all like the secret sauce to some of the things that we do. We got 15 minutes. Thank you so much, Miss Renee. So I'm going to get these notes in that I jotted down, basically giving you guys the secret sauce to the culture and to the things that we hold dear in terms of just our values and how we operate. And while we go through this, definitely any questions that you have for me or that you have for the heartbeats, drop those questions or feel free to come off of mute and interrupt me if you want, y'all, because I definitely want to make sure that you get what you need out of this session. So I'm good for an acronym and I love an acronym. So the first few jewels that I'm going to give you, write this down on your paper. It's going to be real, REAL. And for that acronym, the first thing is, and I hope that this came clear across in what my heartbeats were saying, relationships. Relationship is what matters most. Thank you, Cam Gotti, on the notes in the chat. If you don't have anything, then you won't be able to create anything without that relationship. Like everything rises and falls on that relationship. And that's really going to dictate like how far you can push the button and how far you can go with a young person. So definitely keep that relationship at the head. My E, that's for excitement. Excitement is mandatory, y'all. Regardless of where you are in your life, none of us wants to go anywhere and be bored to death. And we have to be able to bring that same spirit and to be able to bring that energy that we would want into our spaces with young people and really not be afraid to absorb energy and also create energy. We don't do nothing that's boring, y'all. Not ever. You come to a Heart Smiles event, it don't matter what it is. We're going to have a good time. We're going to get our work done, but we also going to have a good time. That's right, Gail. Gail said, okay, absolutely. We're going to have a good time. My A is for ask for permission to support. And you guys heard that a little bit in some of the examples. And y'all, by the way, like, we did not practice this, like, not at all. So I didn't even know what they were going to say. The most practice that we did was, all right, y'all, here's the time we need to report. Here's the topic we're going to cover. And here go the links and stuff. So just make sure that you got it, because I can't help you with the links. So I didn't know, I didn't have any idea that what they were going to say tied into this concept of asking for support. Asking for permission before you just attempt to support young people. A lot of times we think that we are helping, and we want to be helpful, and we want to present it that way, but our intent gets lost in just the fact that sometimes they don't want to be bothered, or they aren't at a space at that particular time where they can even articulate or even talk about it. And sometimes, I mean, we all know that feeling. Sometimes it's just too painful, and right now you just want to forget about it. So definitely be respectful of their space and ask permission, and be prepared for when that answer is no. Like, a lot of us might suffer from adultism, and if you do suffer from adultism, this has to be your wake-up call to put that to the side and be prepared for when the answer is no, and not lose love and not lose respect, but still be there in the way that they need you to be there. That's a whole different concept from what we've been taught and what a lot of us practice. Like, we want to show up the way that we show up. That's not always the case. We need to show up how best they need us to show up. And then my L is leadership. Leadership is something that you share. A lot of people go in with the mindset that these are young people that you just have to serve. You got to graduate from just serving young people to actually partnering with young people. And again, I didn't know that they were going to say what they said, but I'm glad that they talked about the fact that they facilitate sessions. Like, they are out here in these schools and in these sessions in the place of myself or Miss Mo actually teaching. And one thing that, Cam really hit on was that representation. And it has helped us to inspire other young people to want to be involved with Heart Smiles, because they've seen young people who were their age and who came from the same place that they came from facilitating these sessions. And they're like, wow, if they can be at the top of the classroom talking and speaking and teaching us about stuff, then I could be doing the same thing, helping somebody else. So definitely put yourself in that mindset of sharing leadership and looking at young people as your partners. The next few things that I just want to leave you with are just a couple of jewels that I jotted down because I thought that they were important just to kind of remind ourselves. And that one is, the first one, you aren't expected to have all the answers. So, get rid of that mindset that, you got to be the end all be all. And especially when it's something that you're not knowledgeable about. Like, I love to use my I don't know card, because number one, it shows your humanity. It opens up a little bit of vulnerability, and it gives you just a different way to be able to connect and facilitate the learning with young people. So don't feel like you got to have all the answers, and definitely don't make up something, because they'll be able to call you out on your stuff if they feel like you're trying to just drag them along. My second point is, it's not about you. And sometimes you got to remind yourself that it is not about you. Like, if you are really, really, really serious about helping young people grow and become the best version of their self that they can possibly be, you got to take yourself out of the equation. And that's going to look different for us as adults on how we do that. So for some of us, that's going to mean, getting a therapist, or having a tight friend circle where you can go and scream and let it all out. But for sure, regardless of what happens, you got to be able to still put on that smile, still bring that positive energy, and still let young people know, like, look, all right, regardless of what we growing through right now, because I believe we'll get past it, I'm going to give you the time. I'm going to give you the space. If this is a crash and burn moment, I'm okay with it. I'm still going to remain in the passenger seat while I allow you to drive. One thing I tell my heartbeat mentors all the time is, we aren't the drivers. We're like the guardrails. Sometimes we get in the passenger seat and we can ride shotgun, but we are the guardrails. And it's on us to be sure that we are always there. So when they do crash and burn, they know that they have some type of protection support, and they can always come back. And then the last thing I'm gonna leave y'all with, and for whatever few little minutes I got left, we're gonna do the Q&A. But the last thing is shut up. Seriously, just shut up. If you find yourself talking more than your young people are talking, you are doing the authentically engaging thing wrong. Like, and I know that for some of us that suffer with adultism, that can be a strike to your ego, a strike to your pride. But like, we really have to understand that the space is theirs. And we should be there to create the space and open the doors. And even if you are dealing with like that introverted young person, give them some time. Open up the door so that they can talk about things that are important to them, things that interest them, things that excite them. And that'll be your way to be able to try to inch in, but definitely do not dominate that conversation. If young people leave that conversation knowing how great you are and not ever realizing how great they are, you done did it wrong, and you done caused more harm than, help in that particular situation. So that's my jewels to drop on your head. Miss Renee, can we get a quick little time check? We right up on the time, ain't we?
You got 7 minutes, and then we'll head back to the main stage.
Okay, cool. So we got 7 minutes for Q&A. What questions y'all got, either for me or for the Heartbeats?
It's Joni. I have questions.
Yes, come on, Warren.
How y'all doing today?
We doing
great.
All
right. So I'm gonna try to get them all done at one time because I know we don't have a lot of time. First, I wanted to give you a shout out for not just teaching young people, but teaching young people how to teach and training them how to train. I think that's a great quality that and I'm getting my master's in organizational leadership right now. And it really does take a skill for leaders to build leaders. So my first question is to the Heartbeats. From being authentic leaders and being on your leadership journeys yourselves, how do you deal with frustration when you experience poor leadership?
I can go first. For me, knowing how I want leadership to look like, sometimes I have to step up and lead. Like, you might be in a project or something like that, and it may be a leader. Like, even thinking about the mayor's office situation, for example, I was under poor leadership. So I had to go in and tell them what I wanted to be implemented or what I wanted to be practiced, and tell them the role that I wanted to have instead of waiting around for them to give me a role that they thought would suffice for what they thought I could do. So it's really about just stepping up and figuring out what leadership meant to me, and sometimes having to be that leader instead of continuing to be under a poor leadership. Sometimes, Joni was just talking about it yesterday, sometimes supporting means changing the positions. And I know I had to change my position because I'm not for sitting around waiting on you sending me an email what I should do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show out and show up like I do every single time. So it's just about shifting the power.
I would say, for me, I would say take initiative. If I'm under poor leadership and if I see it's poor leadership, I'm gonna take the initiative to step up and do what's supposed to be done in the correct leadership way. So like surface certain things, if I like see like in like school and like these organizations that I'm in, if I see like one of my leaders are not actually taking, like the president's not taking the initiative to make the emails and do things like that, I'll take the initiative to step up and actually take that part in, and show them actually what leadership supposed to be until they come back into and actually show them leadership they want to.
That's excellent. It's a great question in the chat that I wanted to elevate. So I need to know the answer to that because I work for Baltimore City Public Schools under this new initiative called Mentoring and Adult Relationship. So the district is in the process of partnering with a lot of mentoring programs. So Joni, we will need to meet real soon because a lot of the stuff that you were saying were really good about how we train mentors, right? Because I think a lot of that is really good, but also how we like direct youth to these programs that exist, because I don't think enough people know about the opportunities and the organizations that are out there for support. So I would like you to answer that question. But my second question was, if there's one thing that you could tell a mentor, if you're like, don't, like, this is the thing, like, remember when you go into it with this mindset or with that, what would it be?
So
That's
let me ask you.
heartbeats.
It's for the heartbeats. Really, what's for anybody, but the heartbeats and you as well.
Can you ask that question one more time and like explain a little bit more?
So right now we're rolling out mentoring programs and we train our mentors. So what is one thing that you think all mentors should know going into that mentor-mentee relationship?
Oh, okay, cool. You said one thing. Can I give you like three real quick? Three fast things? Cool. The first one is be patient. Very, very much be patient. Two, communication. Communication is for our relationships, friendships, parents, everything. It's communication. And three is the main one, but you have to okay, how can I put this in the words that I want to put it in? So you have the patience, you have the communication, and your three also had the I would say relatable. Like Miss Joni is relatable. Be relatable, but don't over relate, if that makes sense.
I would say be open and provide comfort. So like I always felt comfortable going into her smiles. Like at first it was a little overwhelming because I'm like, dang, like it's just all these powerful people around me. Like my mentors, they all loving on me. I'm like, I'm not used to this. It's different. But once I got into it, it's just like you into it now. It's like you don't have no way out. It's because it's just like it's something that just draw you back in. Like every time it's only say the session, oh man, the time running out, or yo, the session, that's my time. It's like, yo, now I gotta come to tomorrow's session because it's like it be so good. Like I would not even ever lie to y'all, but y'all gotta come to the session Monday.
And Winter Wednesdays is on YouTube, and Thriving Thursdays, and Focus Fridays, and every Jewel Monday through Friday.
And Power Professional Tuesdays with Miss Tay, Leaders Unleashed. Miss Joni be acting on there, y'all.
Bye,
yo, she like the Joni Hollifield when she get on. I'm just saying.
We got less than a minute. One, I'm gonna let you.
Let's have Jeanette. We're gonna ask your question real quick, and then we'll all head back to the stage to wrap up.
Yeah. But thank you, Warren. Be in touch with me.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry to cut you off, Warren, but I got a question too, because these are some phenomenal young people, and I'm just so excited. Y'all just have no idea. Joni, I'm gonna talk to you later, but I want to ask you a question. I'm getting ready to do a session with some young people to introduce myself for some things that I'm going to be doing. The way I'm going to do it is a hip hop dance class. Am I on the right track trying to do that? Does that make sense? I'm not going to do the dance. I got somebody else who's going to do it. Is that a good way to introduce myself to young people?
I think it definitely would be a good resource. A lot of youth are interested in dancing, but I also would advise you to, when you are introducing the class, make sure that your face is always there, you're always present. So even if you're not going to be doing the dance, you like, dang girl, like you really doing that dance or something like that. Just being encouraging, being supportive, and making sure that you're present. Because it's one thing providing a resource, but it's another thing when you're providing a resource, but also providing support with that resource.
Oh, I'm going to dance. You're not going to keep me off of the screen, so you can forget that. I am going to dance. I just want to make sure that I'm headed in the right direction. As a way to open up the conversation to the young people is that let's do this hip hop master class. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Cameron. Oh, I'm going to be so in touch with y'all. You just do not know what you started now.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Joni, Camry, Coach. Head back to the main stage. Even from there, you guys can PM each other to stay in touch. We'll see you all there. Thank you so much. I'll see you over there.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're awesome young people. Joni, thank you. I'm going to call you.
She's going to call you. Yes. That's going to call.